Okay, today we're going to talk about how to write recursive equations from sequences and tables. So whenever you're given a sequence like this, you're going to be looking for two main things. So you're going to look at what's the first term, in this case is a 2, and you're going to be looking for how is the output changing. What's the change from one term to the next, the change in the output variable. Here we could see from 2 to 5, 5 to 8, that we're adding 3 each time. So each of these two pieces of information is going to get its own line as part of the recursive equation. So the first term, we write it like this. So f of 1 equals 2, and that is because it's the first term, so that's the 1, and it was a 2, so that's why we put a 2. For the iteration, the plus 3's here, we write f of n equals f of n minus 1. This is a really common and standard way of writing this first part of the equation. It just means our current term equals our previous term plus 3, right? So that plus 3 is right there, plus 3. F of n equals f of n minus 1 is something that you want to get used to writing. There are other ways to write it, but this is the way that I like to write it. And it's important that we write both lines, okay? So just a couple more examples. Here we have one where we're multiplying and our first term is 3. So because the first term is 3, we write f of 1 equals 3. And our iteration this time is, since it's a geometric sequence, we're multiplying by 2. So that shows up right here, right? F of n equals f of n minus 1 times 2. So that's from a sequence. Now from a table, the main difference here is that you want to look at your first term, because unlike a sequence where your first term corresponds with the number 1, right? First term is 2, first term is 3. On a table, sometimes it can be different. So here we start with a 3. We're kind of saying our first term was when n equals 3, and f of n was 81. So we write f of 3 equals 81. It's the first line on the table, but it is n being 3. So we write f of 3 equals 81. Right? So instead of f of 1, we write f of 3. Okay. We also see it's dividing by 3 as we go, so that's the change there. Okay. And here's another one. We see it's subtracting by 2. Shows up over here as a minus 2, and the first term is negative 2 and 3, so we write f of negative 2 equals 3. And that's how you write recursive equations.